Imagine a world where the Ethereum blockchain is lightning fast and efficient, where you can send and receive transactions in a fraction of the time and at a fraction of the cost. This is the world of Optimism, the game-changing Layer 2 scaling solution that's set to change the way we use the Ethereum network. In today's video, we'll explore Optimism and see how it's making the Ethereum network faster, cheaper, and more secure. But first, what is Optimism? Optimism is a new solution that helps the Ethereum blockchain scale more effectively. It's called a Layer 2 blockchain, which means it works alongside the main Ethereum network to process transactions faster and more cheaply. But how does Optimism actually work? Optimism works by using a technique called optimistic rollup. This allows the Optimism network to process transactions quickly and securely by leveraging the security of the Ethereum network. In an optimistic rollup, all transactions are processed on the Optimism network, but a summary of these transactions is recorded on the Ethereum network. This summary is called a checkpoint, and it's cryptographically secured by Ethereum, meaning that the state of the Optimism network can be verified by anyone on the Ethereum network. This allows Optimism to process a large number of transactions in parallel without the need for each one to be verified individually on the Ethereum network. This also improves scalability, as the Ethereum network only needs to process a small number of checkpoints rather than every individual transaction. Additionally, Optimism uses a technique called sharding to further improve scalability. Sharding divides the Optimism network into smaller, independent sub-networks called shards. Each shard processes a subset of transactions, which reduce the load on any one part of the network. But what are the key features on Optimism? One of the key features of Optimism is its ability to provide faster and cheaper transactions for dApps. Additionally, the technology is being embraced by the gaming and non-fungible token, well, NFT industries. Optimism has the following features. Number 1, high scalability. Optimism allows for faster and cheaper transactions by utilizing the security of the Ethereum mainnet. This is achieved through a process called optimistic rollup that we mentioned before, which allows for transactions to be grouped together and processed in batches. Number 2, EVM compatibility. Optimism is EVM compatible, meaning that any project or application built on Ethereum can easily be ported to Optimism without the need for any additional translation or compatibility work. Number 3, high security. Optimism relies on Ethereum's proof-of-stake consensus mechanism, which means that it basically inherits the security of Ethereum. Number 4, lower transaction costs. By processing transactions in batches and relying on the security of the Ethereum mainnet, Optimism is able to reduce the cost of transactions, typically between 1% and 10% of the cost on the Ethereum mainnet. Number 5, Optimist NFT. The Optimist NFT is a customizable profile picture project. It is designed to help the community express themselves and introduce reputation across the Optimism ecosystem. Optimists can create millions of unique combinations for their NFT, each of which tells a part of the Optimism story. Number 6, Optimism Quest. Optimism Quests are a simple, educational, and rewarding exploration of the Optimism app ecosystem. Just by reading about different apps and completing a short quiz and task, people are able to mint a NFT that represent the completion of the respective quest. Number 7, Optimism Collective. The Optimism Collective is a decentralized governance system that operates for the public good and believes in profitably serving the community. It comprises of various stakeholders, including companies, communities, and participants who support the platform. The OP token grants access to the Optimism Collective, which governs the platform and is divided into 2 houses. The token house responsible for technical decisions and the citizens house for funding decisions. How does Optimism work compared to other Ethereum scaling solutions? Ethereum scalability is a critical issue, and various Layer 2 solutions have emerged to help address network congestion. Of course, one of these solutions is Optimism. But how does it work compared to other popular ETH Layer 2 scaling solutions, such as number 1, Arbitrum. Arbitrum is similar to Optimism, but has a distinct Layer 2 network. It handles fraud proofs differently, using multiple round fraud proofs for lower gas costs, but with slower validation. In contrast, Optimism uses a single round fraud proof for quicker transactions, but with higher gas fees. Number 2. Polygon. Polygon operates as a sidechain and has its own built-in security framework, separate from Layer 1. It uses the same virtual machine as Ethereum and the Matic token for security and fees. Optimism, on the other hand, relies on Layer 1 for transaction security. Number 3. CK Sync. CK Sync is a CK rollup solution that uses zero-knowledge proofs to validate transactions without revealing any details. However, this validation process is more complex compared to Optimism. While CK Sync offers higher throughput and lower costs, it is not ideal for building dApps, and CK rollup apps cannot interact on Layer 2. In summary, ETH Layer 2 scaling solutions has its own strengths and trade-offs. Optimism offers a balance of speed and cost with its single round fraud-proof approach, but the best solution for users will depend on their specific needs. Here are the tokenomics of Optimism and their OP token. The OP token, the native token of the Optimism ecosystem, has a total supply of 4.29 billion tokens, with only 234 million in circulation. These tokens are distributed among various categories, with the largest portion, 25%, allocated to the Ecosystem Fund. This fund is used to support community projects and initiatives with the Optimism ecosystem. Another 20% of tokens are allocated to the Retroactive Public Goods Funding, which rewards projects based on their impact for the public good. 19% of tokens are reserved for user airdrops, which reward active contributors, token holders, and other stakeholders. Additionally, 19% of tokens are allocated to core contributors who are the driving force behind the Optimism Collective initiative, and 17% of tokens are allocated to project investors. And on a final note, Optimism is a one-of-a-kind initiative with a strong team, a dedicated community, and a group of committed investors. It is likely that the value of the project will soar during the next market upturn, and this is expected to happen sooner than originally anticipated. Now that's it for Optimism. I hope you have learned something. Feel free to suggest future projects that we should cover in future videos. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.